Today's mainland market needs me. They need me to provide job opportunities. They aim for stability in employment, foreign trade, foreign investment, exports, and finance. Out of these 5 stabilities, 4 rely on me. If Beijing says, "Terry, go, if you don't listen to us, move your factories out," I would do so without hesitation. The question is, who fears whom? They fear me, not the other way around. On October 22nd, China's media outlet Global Times reported that Foxconn Group, founded by Taiwan's richest man Terry Gou, is set to face tax investigations in its subsidiaries located in Guangdong and Jiangsu, while issues related to land use in Henan and Hubei will also be probed. The news has stirred discussions in both China and Taiwan, leading to a sharp drop in stock prices for both Foxconn and its parent company, Honghai, the following day. The report did not delve into many details or specify the reasons for the tax investigation. Still, it cited sources claiming that Chinese tax authorities are planning tax audits on key subsidiaries of the Foxconn Group in Guangdong and Jiangsu. Moreover, the Natural Resources Department is also set to investigate Foxconn's land use for factories in areas like Henan and Hubei. Global Times quoted Zhang Wensheng, Deputy Dean of the Taiwan Research Institute at Xiamen University, suggesting that if any violations are discovered, Foxconn should admit its mistakes, accept penalties, and make necessary corrections. The expert further added that Taiwanese companies, including Foxconn, should shoulder their societal responsibilities and actively contribute to the promotion of peaceful cross-strait relations. 3 days after the publication of the Global Times report, China's Taiwan Affairs Office responded on October 25th. Spokesperson Zhu Fenglian stated that the authorities act according to the law and regulations, treating all enterprises equally. Conducting lawful investigations is a standard procedure. She emphasized the continued support for Taiwanese businesses investing in the mainland, providing opportunities and space for their growth. Zhu concluded similarly to the Global Times, saying, "While Taiwanese enterprises share in the mainland's growth dividends and achieve significant development, they should also bear their societal responsibilities and actively promote peaceful cross-strait relations." These statements subtly hint that Foxconn's founder, Terry Gou, might have committed wrongful actions and has not shouldered societal responsibilities in promoting cross-strait peace. Some scholars believe that Foxconn isn't a typically perceived green Taiwanese business or pro-democratic progressive party, and has been a company that aids China in job creation and exports. They believe there are political reasons for its investigation. Taiwan is set to hold its presidential elections in January 2024, and Terry Gou is among the candidates and has long been regarded as a pro-China figure. Gou's company, Honghai, is a globally recognized electronics manufacturing service provider. Its Foxconn subsidiary in Henan province boasts the world's largest iPhone production base, serving as a critical supply chain for Apple. Foxconn's extensive employment opportunities and its role in boosting economic development across various locations have made it a pivotal tech enterprise in China. It's even perceived as an essential indicator for economic recovery post-pandemic. Despite recurrent negative news about sweatshops and mismanagement, Foxconn remains an unchallenged tech manufacturing titan in China. In a context where Terry Gou has long been active in the Chinese market and has maintained positive cross-strait political and business relations, many observers believe that the Beijing authorities will be optimistic about Gou's presidential candidacy. However, this optimism has led to suspicions among some Taiwanese voters, who wonder if Gou might be a candidate specifically endorsed by the CCP. When Gou initially announced his candidacy, he proposed the signing of a cross-strait peace declaration. In May of this year, he traveled to Kinmen Island, the Taiwanese island closest to China, to deliver a peace declaration. There, he expressed acceptance of the 1992 consensus and vowed that, if elected, he would promptly engage in negotiations under the One China framework, firmly rejecting foreign interference, specifically from the United States. Goh also penned an op-ed for American media outlets, criticizing incumbent President Tsai Ing-wen and the Democratic Progressive Party's presidential candidate, Lai Ching-te, for rejecting the One China framework. He warned that such a stance would exacerbate cross-strait tensions, lead to Taiwan's international isolation, and harm its economy. These collective actions have fueled suspicions that there is a CCP hand guiding Goh's presidential bid. Thus, when news of the CCP's tax investigation emerged, it sent shockwaves through various sectors. Not only were Taiwanese businessmen stunned into silence, but stocks for both Hon Hai and Foxconn plummeted. The political circle in Taiwan was abuzz with discussions, suggesting that the CCP was making a statement to punish Goh. The CCP, despite the potential blow to its own economy, seems to be warning Goh against continuing his presidential bid. Their goal, it's believed, is to funnel votes towards other pro-China candidates, Hou You-yi from the Kuomintang and Ko Wen-jie from the Taiwan People's Party. After leaving the Kuomintang in 2019, Goh, unable to abandon his presidential ambitions, decided to run as an independent in 2023, after failing to gain favor in the Kuomintang's primary elections. Although both the blue and white camps tried to impress him, Goh has been non-committal about aligning with any party. Recent discussions about a blue-white alliance have yet to materialize, leaving Hou You-yi, Ko Wen-jie, and Goh competing against each other. These three candidates, due to their similar values and stances on China, are thought to be dividing the vote, potentially giving the Democratic Progressive Party an easy win, a result Beijing would not want. Professor Zhang Junhao from the Department of Political Science at Tonghai University in Taiwan commented in an interview with international media that Beijing could have expressed its stance on Goh's candidacy earlier, but chose this moment to act. Their intent might be to preemptively disrupt any potential alliance between Ko Wen-jie and Goh following a failed blue-white merger, which could seriously undermine the Kuomintang's morale and support. Zhang suggests that Beijing is possibly weighing its options. If the Kuomintang's chances in the presidential election seem slim, they would want to ensure that next year's other major electoral battlefield, the legislative elections, doesn't end in a comprehensive defeat for the Kuomintang due to the impact of the Goh-Ko alliance, hence the decision to act now. In a recent commentary, Professor Zhang Junhao highlighted, "From our observations, aside from the presidential race, Beijing has begun to further interfere in the legislative elections in Taiwan. They hope that legislators who share their viewpoints will emerge victoriously, creating avenues for future collaboration." In response to these speculations, Goh's office merely stated no comment. Foxconn, on the other hand, issued a statement on the 22nd, stressing, "Compliance with laws and regulations is the fundamental principle of our operations worldwide. We will actively cooperate with related procedures." Goh's silence on the tax audit of Foxconn is in stark contrast to his previous bold statements regarding the Beijing authorities when he announced his intention to run. On August 28th of this year, responding to a question from the foreign media during his election announcement press conference, Goh stated, "If the Chinese Communist regime says, 'If you don't listen to me, I'll seize your Foxconn assets,' my response would be, 'Yes, please do it.' If I have to sacrifice my personal assets and they don't strike Taiwan, I am willing to go back to being a mold worker. If the Beijing authorities dare to seize Foxconn's assets, it would not be just targeting me personally. If they dare to do that, which country or investment institution in the world would dare to invest in China?" In 2019, when expressing his intention to represent the Kuomintang in the 2020 Taiwanese presidential elections, he confidently addressed the China question. Today's mainland market needs me. They need me to provide job opportunities. They aim for stability in employment, foreign trade, foreign investment, exports, and finance. Out of these 5 stabilities, 4 rely on me. If Beijing says, "Terry, go, if you don't listen to us, move your factories out," I would do so without hesitation. The question is, who fears whom? They fear me, not the other way around. However, following the tax audit news by Global Times, Go has been notably absent from the public eye. Scheduled campaign events have been cancelled, with his election office responding discreetly that Foxconn will be providing all responses. This move certainly dents his dominant CEO image. According to recent polls, Go is trailing with an estimated 8 to 10% of the vote, far behind other contenders, including the leading Democratic Progressive Party's candidate Lai Ching-te, People's Party's Ko Wen-jie, and Kuomintang's Hou You-yi. Despite his campaign style resonating with younger voters, including the release of a song on TikTok, his popularity seems to be waning, and the number of endorsements for his candidacy registration has plateaued. Furthermore, Go's frequent outspoken remarks against the CCP during his campaign may have crossed Beijing's red lines. He emphasized, "The people of Taiwan will never initiate a war, but we will not shy away from one either." If war is inevitable between the two sides of the Taiwan Strait, we will undoubtedly follow the spirit of our predecessors from the 823 incident, unite and jointly face the enemy. On August 23rd, Terry Go addressed the Kinmen City Council, stating, "Recently, it's not just Foxconn facing tax investigations in China. Multiple companies are undergoing similar scrutiny. However, only Foxconn has been brought to light in the media." Citing sources familiar with the matter, Reuters reported that this spotlight on Foxconn is due to political reasons. In recent years, as part of an effort to gradually reduce dependency on China, Foxconn has been diversifying its production lines, relocating some of them outside of the country. Last December, international media outlets reported that Apple had urged its suppliers to expedite the establishment of production bases outside of China, notably in India and Vietnam, to decrease reliance on Foxconn's Zhengzhou facility. With Beijing now pressuring Foxconn, there could be an accelerated exit of the company from China, potentially alarming foreign investors and Taiwanese business people and seriously harming China's domestic economy. In response to this situation, a Chinese netizen lamented, "Foxconn's annual exports in mainland China amount to approximately $500 billion, while the total export value for all electronic products in China stands at around $1 trillion. Foxconn alone accounts for half of this. If Foxconn were to collapse, there's no other company in China that could replace it. Even if all other businesses combined their efforts, they couldn't replicate even 1/10 of what Foxconn does." But the question remains, despite Foxconn's immense significance to China's economy, would China dare to thoughtlessly take down Foxconn? The answer is yes. Power has always been capricious, making decisions on a whim. When has authority ever made decisions while considering the livelihoods of common people, the integrity of industrial chains, or export scales? In reality, those in power rarely take these factors into account. Professor Li Youtan of the Graduate Institute of National Development at Taiwan's National Chengchi University analyzed that Beijing's willingness to risk both its export benefits and international reputation to punish Terry Go suggests that the Chinese Communist Party is eager to achieve 2 goals: either to have Go withdraw his candidacy or to have him accept a blue coalition arrangement, abandoning his independent bid. Li Youtan remarked, every successful presidential election in Taiwan poses a threat to the CCP's authoritarian regime due to challenges to its legitimacy. People in mainland China often reflect upon why, within the same Chinese cultural realm, Taiwanese presidents are directly elected, while the selection of the General Secretary in mainland China has no correlation with the public. The CCP's tactic of using business to pressure political matters and interfere in Taiwan's politics isn't unprecedented with Foxconn. As early as 2005, Xu Wenlong, the founder of the Chimay Group, which leans toward the Democratic Progressive Party, unexpectedly announced his retirement, emphasizing his stance against Taiwan's independence. This decision shocked many. Subsequent media reports suggested that China detained several Taiwanese executives under the pretext of account auditing, putting pressure on Xu to make this declaration. Furthermore, in 2016, the Hai Pa Wang Group, suggested by Beijing of having ties with President Tsai Ing-wen's family, saw multiple inspections in their Chinese factories under the guise of labeling discrepancies. By the end of that year, Hai Pa Wang publicly stated its steadfast support for the 1992 consensus, emphasizing both sides of the Taiwan Strait belong to one China. In 2021, it was revealed that the Far Eastern Group donated up to 58 million Taiwan dollars to the Democratic Progressive Party during the 2020 election. Consequently, various provincial governments in China harassed the company, imposing fines totaling 474 million yuan for multiple regulatory violations. A spokesperson from the Taiwan Affairs Office responded, saying they would never allow those who support Taiwan independence and undermine cross-strait relations to make money in the mainland, effectively biting the hand that feeds. In response, Douglas Chu, chairman of the Far Eastern Group, wrote to the media, clearly stating his stance against Taiwan's independence and in support of the 1992 consensus and the One China principle. However, despite these efforts, the Far Eastern Group's operations in China suffered a severe downturn. Chinese leader Xi Jinping recently proposed the complete removal of foreign investment restrictions in manufacturing at the Belt and Road Forum. Yet, the CCP now aggressively pressures Taiwanese business people to take a stance. Experts believe this assertive politics over economics approach will erode foreign and Taiwanese businesses' confidence in the Chinese market, intensifying the risk of foreign capital withdrawal, a significant blow to China's already weakened economy.